So I don't even know what we're doing this video, but I do know I need to do a product review, so I'm going to start with that. Currently, I'm not videoing this, but my brother's birthday was yesterday. I think it was yesterday. I'm a bad brother. But his truck, he said it was making noises. So I cleared the headlights, fixed it. No, his truck was making noises. I put it up on my lift earlier and saw that his one brake pad had no pad left. And I said, you already ruined the rotor. You might as well just run it like this until you get the parts. So, yeah. Oh, my truck was making noises. I wonder why. That's bad. Oh man. You think that might have been the noise? So I got one side done. His headlights were really foggy and it bothered the crap out of me, and I tried polishing them and I didn't like the way they came out, so I tried clearing them. I've never clear coated headlights, so I sanded them. They turned out all right. I used 1000 grit and wet sanded them. Way better than what they did look like. I mean, yeah, and he had a bulb out on this one and I had to pull the light to get to it, so I was like, I'll just clear it off the vehicle, which I had to remove half the bumper just to get it out. Should have had to remove the whole bumper, but the one tab on this headlight was broken, so like after you take the top ones out, you can take it out. But yeah, they're not 100%. A little cloudy from certain angles, but it's still a massive improvement from what he was running with. Anyways, the product reviews. You know, I normally give companies a lot of backlash, and I'm pretty straightforward with everything. This company reached out to me, wanted to know if I wanted LED headlights for any of my vehicles, and I said about the Z, and I said about the Scion, and they don't have them for the Z, because the Z is actually HID, and they don't have a LED setup for that. So the Scion was the next thing, and they said, we have your high and low beams. I said, can I get them both? They sent me both of them. And what really stood out to me about this is they're covered for 2 years. They have a 2-year warranty on them. So let me show you these lights. First off, I was like, bravo, the packaging is very nice. Comes with like little zip ties, and it comes with a free gift. How about that? I don't know what this is. Oh, those are QR codes, links to their Facebook and stuff. And it comes with a free gift. This is a one of those sticky pads you put in your vehicle, and you can stick your cell phone or a pad or anything to. They gave me that free. I didn't see if there was one in the other packet yet, but I did open one of these, and my high and low beams are different on the Scion. So, first off, very high quality. The cord feels good. Everything feels really nice. This is metal. This is the bus controller. And then the LED itself. So, like, the construction quality is really nice on these. Like, I think I'm going to put them in the Scion here, and we're going to test them out tonight at some point. But I haven't even opened this other packet yet. They're probably going to look different because they're a different style bulb. Alright, so the only real difference between the two is the mounting surface, like the bulb socket adapter. So, that's really the only thing different between these two. But here later on, oh, it came with the same thing. It came with a lanyard, which is pretty nice, you know, like that you get something like that with your light bulbs. I don't think I'm going to hang that on my keychain, but pretty nifty. And the 2-year warranty, that's the thing that stuck out to me the most. I'm like, yes, they're Chinese bulbs, but if they're covered for 2 years, they're covered for 2 years. So they're almost worth trying, I think. So I'm going to finish up with my brother's truck here, get the other side brakes done, and then I guess we'll pull the Scion in and put some light bulbs in it. So if you remember right, I did have LEDs in my low beams. They were aux beam. It was a set I had here, and they fit, and I threw them in. They blew out. Both of them, like an LED on each one, and it just, the light output sucked. So I got rid of them and put halogens back in. Now, I'm pretty sure my high beams are already off. I think one of my bulbs is not in right. As you see, I already got a baseline. I put that tape on there for some other car, but it ends up being about the same for most cars. So, the low beam's right on my bottom tape line. Let me check my high beam. I noticed it the other day when I was in the fog that it was... This one's way brighter than the other one for some reason. And you can see it's kind of reflecting up here, and I think that's why I thought it was in wrong. But anyways, we're going full LED, both of these. The high beam's so faint, and it don't really matter where your high beam's at, to be honest with you. As long as your low beam is in place, the high beams are going to be set to wherever they're going to be set. So, now we got a baseline. Let's go ahead and pop the old bulbs out and put the new ones in. Another thing is, the further away you can get, the more precise you can adjust your beams. If I had this, see, now that I made room back there, I can back the cars up further. The further away you get, the more accurate you can get with your beam. If you're closer to the door, you're not going to see one of them as far off as it is when you're back further. Like, you should honestly be further than this, but that's what I have to work with. So, let me get these bulbs out. I don't know which one's high and which one's low, but let's get started. Alright, so I ran into an issue with the high beam. They don't go in and lock the whole way, so whenever the bulb's in there, it's in there not, instead of straight up and down like it's supposed to be, it's in there at an angle. And it's because they're made a little bit thicker. This flange right here is a little bit thicker than this one. This one has nubs on it right there and helps it lock into place. Instead, this one is just thicker all the way around, so it just doesn't want to lock into place. So what I'm going to do, I mean, it goes in and it's snug, it just this bulb's sideways, and that's going to make my beam sporadic. So I am going to adjust this ring, take this O-ring off, and there's two Phillips heads there, and I'm going to adjust that ring so whenever I do lock it in place, this is straight up and down. So it might be different for your application, but it's just that flange right there, that adapter is just a little bit different than what the original bulb was. Now, there was no way I could put that bulb in the right way. I said I was going to adjust that collar. It's not adjustable. It's threaded into a threaded hole, those bolts that let that ring move. So there's no adjustment to get it to sit in there right. I tried loosening up the ring on the back of that, and it let me turn it just a little bit more. Still was too far off. The closest I got it, I have it in there upside down, and it's kind of turned a little bit, but it gave me the best pattern right there for a high beam, which you can tell was way brighter than that one. If I had it the way it's intended to be in there and it was cocked sideways, it gave me a moon shape that was weird. This gives me the best, it looks like the best view with a high beam. So go ahead and do the passenger side now. They look decent. They do throw off some heat, I can tell you that, when the fans are on. I was messing with them while the fans were on. So yeah, let me go ahead and throw the other ones in, and we'll see what it looks like. Alright, so it might have been user error. Although the low beams go in with the cord facing straight down and the bulb being straight up and down, the high beams actually go in with it sideways. I got them, and I got a clear, as you can see, a very clear high beam section there, and looks just like the stock bulbs did. So I was clearly just putting them in wrong. Oh my god, they're bright. But yeah, they look really good, and I'm gonna blind people on the way. Let's just see the low beams. The low beams shouldn't be that bad. Yeah, I didn't even turn the lights off in here. There we go. Nice crisp line. It's perfect. Let me shut the lights off in here, and we'll see what they look like. Pretty good. Pretty good lighting. I like it. I like it. So, yeah, those bulbs can be finicky. That sometimes you can put them in several different ways, and that's what happened to me. So, oh man, that's yeah, somebody's not gonna like me. But normally you run with your low beams on, so you don't have to worry about that. So, yeah, very, very nice. So if you want to get your hands on a set of these, like I said, I take back what I was saying about it, you know, being off. Comes with a nice lanyard. It comes with a cell phone holder. Very nice packaging. 2-year warranty. You really don't have anything to go wrong there. If they're going to cover them, they're going to cover them. And my one low beam was on its way out. Look at the bubble on that.
Bubble butt.
But as long as my bulbs work, I keep all these, because you never know when you're going to need bulbs. And I got tons of them. So you know me, I was about to be real critical on that company. But when it's user error, I can't really blame the company. Yeah, my work rod. I'm still on the fence, guys. Do I keep this or do I run the Optima? I've done some things to the Optima since the last video. So first thing I did was replace this bad PCV valve. Now it makes noise like it's supposed to, but the thing's sticking open. That's the thing, and it's not supposed to do that. So I replaced it with a dormant one, which I was kind of not happy with, but I got it to work. The threads, this is plastic, and those threads were just really crappy on that brand new one. I got it started, it went right in, so it's in there. It's made a little bit different than this, but it looked like it was better made than this, so it might be an updated version. Next thing, here is the rubber bushing that goes in the electric power steering. This is what's making that racket whenever I cut the wheel. So we're gonna have to put that in here, maybe this video. We'll see. Next, this trim that was missing came in, stuck it right on there. There it is. Fix that, so that looks pretty now. I put batteries in the remotes. Go figure, they work now. And then I have some of this tore apart because I was messing with this, and lo and behold, I got the radio to work now, but it's no good because the touchscreen is not good. You can't select anything. It's on the touchscreen, so I can't select like certain menus. I can't program my phone because you have to hit buttons that are on the screen. I just can't do that. And also, this thing has a backup camera that I didn't know about. But guess what? It's not working. So I'm going totally aftermarket with this, an aftermarket radio with a backup camera and everything. So we're just gonna do away with this whole setup because it sounds like these are good when they work, if they work. So it's just kind of like hit or miss. Now I'm not saying the PCV valve was totally the oil consumption problem. I don't honestly know. I dumped a good bit of seafoam into the engine, and I've been running it here and there just to clean the engine. Hopefully, if it's just carboned up rings or something, then it'll take care of that. They have this high mileage seafoam now. That's what I used on it. And I don't have time right now. I'd like to just go over this and clean it completely and see how much paint work I have to do because there's lots. And I don't honestly want to just paint the whole vehicle because, like, just for like little chips like this, I don't want to just paint the whole hood because there's a couple of chips in it. But this piece right here, definitely need to paint that. And the only place that you're going to see a contrast right here if I don't match, because back here they don't connect. So I don't think it's going to be that bad. Paint's missing there. It's just defective paint. Like, that's the primer underneath. It's just did not stick. And there's a lot of cars out there that are like that. It's just certain colors that they did, just the paint was defective and it didn't stick to the primer, or it's just it lifts off, or bad clear coat. There's certain cars that just certain colors in that car, the paint just goes bad early, and certain other colors and there's no way of telling until it does it. Well, I guess apparently this white, this pearl white, which is a tri-coat, is one of them. So I'm gonna get experience with some tri-coat paint. That's fun. That's expensive. But like I said, I'm on the fence because this thing has like everything. But my Scion just like doesn't have anything. The only thing I like is that my Scion is a stick shift, and like I put a fancy stereo and stuff in it. This is newer. It has all the options. It has lower miles, and it just, I don't know. I'm torn because I just don't want to get rid of my stick shift, but that's a nice freaking car. So you guys let me know what you think. I don't know what I'm going to do at this point, but I guess we'll see what I get into in this video later. If you want to get yourself a set of Novsight auto lighting LED bulbs, go down the link in my description, click on that and get yourself a discount. So I'm on my morning commute to work. There's the low beams. If I put the high beams on right now, that car in the far distance is probably got to run off the road because they're so freaking bright. Yeah, when this company reached out to me about these headlights, they asked if I wanted their brightest ones or the next step down or whatever. These suckers are bright, okay? It's like daytime when you put the high beams on. There's low beams, high beams. I can definitely see where I'm going. Pretty nice. As I was driving my Scion to work this morning, I decided that the Kia just is not the car that's gonna replace my Scion. This thing is just, I like this car. Even though it doesn't have all those features, it's fun to drive. And that Kia is just it's not the car to replace this. I'm sure the time will come, but that's just not the car.
I think I figured out what we're doing today, Stu, man. Let's go to Junkyard. You wanna go to Junkyard? Huh? No? You wanna sunbathe? Yes? I cut down the tree out here so now you can see, which that needs to go to the dump here soon, huh? Okay. That's right, the only thing we're missing for the Cruze is the hood. I need to get paint, and since we don't have a paint store here anymore, Altoona has the paint store that used to be here. So I'm going to go there and get paint for the Cruze. I'm actually going to be changing paint stores here soon. The guy that used to run one here runs one in like Lewistown, which is closer to me, and he said he could hook me up with some paint, and I think I'm gonna go with better paint. Like right now I'm using kind of like bottom line. The shop line paint is like a bottom line paint, and it honestly has been doing good, but I think over time it's not gonna last as good as a better paint. So I think I might start stepping it up a little bit. I don't know, I'll just gauge it by what the vehicle is really. So this is not my paint, but I use this as a guide to order my paints because I had to tell them the numbers and stuff. But this time I did order Shopline's version of a sealer. That's basically what you will put underneath your base coat. I'm going to try that this time. Since it's white, I got a white sealer. That way the color, you remember when I did that Malibu, it was a darker primer. It threw that white off, made it a little darker. The kid didn't care, but in fact it's kind of smashed up now. It's still running, but so we had a little bit of confusion because this Cruze, the build sheet says it's Summit White. The paint code is, they couldn't even find the paint code that's wrote in the glove box. Like I don't know, it's almost like they didn't document it on this one. I don't know. He said it should be Olympic White. That Malibu I did was Olympic White. So I called Chevy and they were like, yeah, Summit White and Olympic White is the same paint code, so it doesn't matter which one it was. They didn't want to get the wrong paint code. So let's go to Clark's and get a hood. I would like to get a white one, but I ordered enough paint that need be. I had to paint a hood. We got to get this thing done. I'm going to paint it this weekend because the humidity's way down. The temperature's like just right. So it's like really good for painting right now. So I need to get it done this weekend. So I got to clear the garage up so make room for that. All right, so while I'm sitting in traffic, headed to Clark's, hopefully to get a white hood. If it's not white, it's not white. Whatever, we'll have to paint it. But I got to get there. Got my tools in the back. I didn't bring my drone because I haven't. You're supposed to charge the batteries basically the day before you fly it. I didn't charge them because I didn't plan this happening. But yeah, I wasn't even planning on painting the car this weekend or the parts for it. But like I have everything. And it's perfect weather right now. On another note, my buddy's looking for cars, and we just went and test drove a newer Nissan Maxima. I'm telling you what, them things are a little, I mean, they're impressive. Especially with a CVT in it. I mean, it feels good, but he's waiting because he found a Q60 hybrid all-wheel drive for $2,000 less. And they're actually faster. They still have the VQ motor in it, but they have electric assist, so they have 360 horsepower, which is pretty impressive for a hybrid. And it gets 35 miles a gallon. All-wheel drive, that's pretty good. And it has the same 7-speed in it. It doesn't have a CVT. It has the 7-speed that, like, my Z has in it. I think it might actually be just as fast, if not faster, than my Z with that electric assist, which is pretty crazy, because they're only a 3.5 VQ instead of the 3.7. Impressive though. Alright, so I looked all through the GM section here. They only have one good hood, and it's red. So we're going to have to deal with that. I want the hood hinges and the hood. I also need the side marker light that goes on the bumper. I guess if you look at this red one down here, there's like a dent in it right there. There's a side marker that goes in that. Ripped the wire, the plug's gone on mine on the passenger side. So if the wiring's there, the bumper's already off. It looks like they cut the wires on this one too, so I see there's no plug there. I'll go down and look at that one, but there's several Cruzes here. They're just, none of them have a good hood except for this one, so we're gonna have to go with the red one. And this is a good thing that I got sealer. I've never used sealer before, and technically you don't have to use it. In paint codes, normally there's a code in that for the sealer. So like you're laying the base coat over a certain color, like gray or dark gray or white. If you're spraying a white, technically you kind of want to use a white base or a white sealer. So that sealer, you just put one coat on. So we're going to do one coat of sealer so that the color is more uniform whenever we do spray it. And if I wouldn't have been so impatient, this car has a lot of good parts on the front of it. Could have got the headlights off of this, and they are the dark housing ones like I ordered, in pretty decent shape. The hood has a couple rust chips. We're gonna have to do something about that. I can see there's some good, pits and rust and stuff, and we're gonna have to do something about those because that's no good. But ooh, that's at least just surface. So we're probably gonna have to put a nice
coat of primer on this so we can actually get this smooth. But still, this hood's better than no hood, and it's not all dented up like the rest of them that I've seen. Cut both the plugs off of this, so I'm gonna have to find another one here. There's a red one right here, so let's go see if there's those plugs are on this. Yeah, so they ripped the whole harness off of this as well. Somebody took a lot of parts here. Everything's cut. This silver one, and they cut the wires off of that too. Why is everybody just chopping these off? Why would you just not just unplug it? There ain't no wires on this side. Nope, they're chopped too. I swear, if I can't get that pigtail here. Ooh. Right here's one as well. Plug's damaged. Wait. That might be it right there. I think that's it right there. It's all chopped off on this side. I don't know. It might be it right here. So I'm just gonna chop that off. Take that. There is a newer Sonic here, and I don't know if that would have, or that's a Spark. Here's another one. Here's another one. Let's look at this one. So it's black and green on this one that was chopped off, and that's what I needed. That's what I have here, black and green. What is it on this side? Black and green with a red stripe. That's probably, I probably have the right plug here. So looks like most of them are chopped at this point. Boy, there's just none. Wow. All right, so we're gonna take our chances with this one plug. Pretty sure this is the one I need. There's only one out of all of these ones here. It's crazy. So it must be pretty common when they're in accidents to rip that wire off, or somebody broke them in the process or whatever. Yeah, so we're gonna take this and we're gonna get this hood. Even though it's not the nicest, we're gonna paint it so it'll look decent. It's just gonna be a little bit more work, which sucks, but it is what it is. No, the hood don't want to release. That's why nobody took this hood. It won't release. Same engine. Turbo's there. So I'm also going to take this intake tube, because I don't have that. And it scoops air from up front here, which is a really good place for it to scoop air from. So yeah, I'm pretty sure mine ends down there. Alright, so hood hinges, and that scoop. Let's go. Now that was pretty hassle-free. I took that radiator mount because I can't remember. I know I was missing, I think it's the rubber piece, but I took the whole mount. I did glue things back on, but everything's working in the front, so I'm like not messing with any of this stuff. But yeah, this had all the parts that I needed. I needed the bumper support. I needed that black piece, which I already have, brand new now. The headlights, it has everything. So the hinges, you basically got to take most of the bolts out of the top of the fender, and then there's one hidden like back in through. It actually goes through the hinge. That was the hard one to find, and on both of these I broke all the tabs on this piece right here. So I can see where they're at, and with the door open, I should be able to get under this one and this one to pop them out. This one's going to be the hard one to get out without breaking. As long as you have two of them, they should be okay. So on mine, hopefully I don't break any, but I broke most of them on both of these, so they wouldn't even be any good anyways if I did break mine. That's all I really need right now. Pretty neat this thing still has the turbo and everything on it. These turbos, pretty sure the manifold is part of the turbo, so it's not like something you can just take off and bolt a different turbo on. You need a whole new manifold. And I see somebody, the bolts are loose here, was already looking at it at some point. Looks like there's a different gasket on there. I don't know. This thing's a 6-speed. I don't know if this is the Eco model, but it's a manual, Emmanuel, which is what I wish the one was that I had, but not in too bad a shape compared to all the other ones here. So let me clean up my tools, and I'll drive up around the upper part of the yard, because it's a lot cooler up there. I like that. It's the import section up there. So we'll go up there and look around. This is a domestic section. Trucks and SUVs are up there. It's laid out pretty decent. I like it here. So, and they're pretty lenient with you. They're like, yeah, you want to go ahead, go on up. So. There you go, folks. I don't know if you can see that. 75 bucks. I don't hate that price at all for everything I got. 75 bucks. The hoods alone are about $200. So, I mean, I got to do a little bit of work because of that rust, but I got to paint the thing anyways. So, I'm already, you know what I mean? I'm already on the way there. So, I got to paint it. I got to do a little bit of body work, but it's not dented. It was the only hood that they had that wasn't dented. Let me put my seatbelt on before the YouTube critics come out. They said they don't have any yard people here because there's a Mini Cooper up there. And Johnny's rebuilding. I don't know if you've been to my buddy's channel, Johnny. He's rebuilding the Mini Cooper that I rebuilt. He bought it off the guy. That guy only drove it for like 2 months. Like, he sat on it for a long time. And then he only drove it for like 2 months before he wrecked it. And he hit something hard. He blew airbags and everything. So Johnny's, it was basically hit on the other side from what it was when I had it. And Johnny got the whole front clip on and everything, and he kind of wanted to put a 6-speed in it. And there's a 6-speed manual Cooper S up there, and they wanted $400 for that trans. But they also have a 6-speed at Johnny's, and that would be like 150 bucks. And they said they don't have yard people here, so they can't pull it. So $400 to pull it yourself, or $150 to pull it yourself. You know what I mean? So I told Johnny I don't look for him to come get this one. But if you haven't, go check out his channel. It's Powerlifter Garage. I'll put a link at the end of the video, and you can go give him a follow. All right, you guys are going to get a little bit of bonus footage, and I hope it doesn't rain because it's starting to get windy. My headlights on the truck have been foggy for too long. I wet sanded them with 1000 grit, 1500, and then 2000, and now you can see the haze that they are now. I mixed this can up the other day for my brother's headlights, and it still is good. There's still a lot left in it, and it's good for a couple weeks after you mix it. So I'm going to do my headlights before this goes bad, because this stuff is not cheap. It's like about $30 a can. Cleaned up, wet sanded everything, cleaned it up, taped it off, just wiped everything down several times with Rust-Oleum removes wax and tar remover, wax and grease remover, same stuff. You got to watch, like, some strong grease and wax removers will actually eat plastic. So that's why I use Rust-Oleum, because that's like very diluted compared to most stuff. So I wiped it all down several times. Ideally, I should have taken this bumper off. I did take the slats off, which helps. But let me get the tripod set up, and then I'm going to start laying clear coat on here. And you're going to see when I lay it on there, it's going to haze over, and it's going to look foggy for a little bit. And then once that clears up, and it starts to look pretty clear, that's when you hit it with another coat. So I'm going to try to do 3 coats on these. And, yeah, we'll see how these turn out. If it's because when I did my brother's headlights, it was more humid. It's actually really dry out, not humid right now. The clear did not fog after I sprayed it on, so that actually looks really nice. But I got to give that a good like 10 minutes to dry, so I'm gonna give this some time. But that looks really really good. What do you think? Look at this one. I thought about not putting those louvers back on, but it protects the front end of the truck, so, and my headlights and everything, so I am going to throw them back on. But yeah, man, 10 times better. I actually almost bought a set of headlights for this the one year at Carlisle, because it was like, they're hazy, and then I never did, and just never did anything about it. But I had a little bit of time today. It was like, why not? Hey, look really good. So this is going to be the hood we're using on our Cruze. Yes, there's rust bubbles. Yes, there's a very large spot of rust right here and back here. We're going to have to address all of this. We're going to have to sand this down and try to remove all of the rust and all of the flaking paint. And then from there, we're going to have to use some self-etching primer. Then I'll use some build primer. Well, I'll use some glazing putty in some of these like bad areas. And then we'll use some fill primer, sand it. Then, yeah, this hood's going to be a little bit more work, but in the end, it'll look decent. So next episode, we're going to be doing a lot of work. We might even finish this next episode. I'm going to pull that damage out. Next episode, we'll probably at least get all the paint work done. And then the one after that will probably be reassembly back together. So then after that, we'll jump onto this. Not a lot to do, but I got to try tri-coat paint. This does look just like a regular white paint, but it has a pearl in it, so it's a tri-coat. And I'm going to a different paint store. I'm going to be using different paint, so we're going to see how that is. The only parts that I'm actually painting on this, I'm just going to redo this whole pillar here. Because of how bad this spot is. You're not going to touch that up. It's not going to look right. And then plus all of these spots. So we're going to have to paint all that. And this one is doing the same thing on the inside. And it's really chipping off there. And there's a spot back there. It's chipped off. Several spots it's chipped off. Those are the only 2 spots I'm actually just going to paint. The rest of them I'm just going to touch paint. Like here and all those little spots there. We need to get this cleaned up. And I'm thinking we might add a little bit of aftermarket parts to this. I'm thinking a front lip, a ducktail wing, just to spice it up a little bit, make it look a little better. I think these things look plain without something back here. It just looks like it's missing something on top. So thinking a ducktail wing, something a little bit more aggressive, not just a little one, maybe a little bit taller, but I think it'll look really good on this. So if you're excited for all this stuff, smash that like button, consider subscribing, hit that dislike button if your mom wants me to knock the rust off of her.
Yeah, baby!
And we'll see you on the next episode.
Alright.
Bye to Daddy. He's passed it over today. I'm getting the stint put in up in me. No fun. Say bye-bye. It's just gonna be you and Stu and Mommy, okay? Alright? Bye, Stu, man. It was fun being your dad. I'm passing over, okay? I'm passing over. Say bye-bye. You're too tired to. Understandable.